Today I'm going to share with you some super fun, easy, and simple recipes that you can absolutely bring with you to your 4th of July gatherings this upcoming weekend or anytime throughout the summer. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get this show on the road. Hi everyone and welcome. Happy 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. I am putting this video out the night before the 4th of July, and I hope you all have some fun plans. And we have a couple of parties to go to, so I'm super excited to be getting some dishes together to bring to all those fun gatherings. I did myself a Walmart delivery order this morning, which reminding myself, why don't I do that more often? So nice and convenient. And here is pretty much the bulk of what I needed for today's recipes and then some. So I'm going to be making a mac and cheese that I'm not going to put in this video, but it's so good, such a crowd pleaser. I'll definitely put that in a short or future video. I'm going to be making some deviled eggs. We're going to try out this new egg cooker, which, I'm not always a gadget person, but I might be after I use this. Random castor oil, starting to use that on my skin. Totally not ingredient, but here we go today. I'm very excited to share with you a lot of recipes that I feel like are perfect, not only for the 4th of July, but can be used all summer long. Okay, so I am straining some cherries here, maraschino cherries that I thought had the stems on them. So that was like a hand drop, like, how does it not say without stems? So these came from Walmart, just a PSA for everyone out there. If you need maraschino cherries with the stem on it, these do not say without stem on the container. But that's okay. We are moving forward. We are pouring, yes, we're making vodka soaked maraschino cherries because that is the most important thing in this video today. So we are putting what I have left of some vanilla flavored vodka. Could be anything, could be plain vodka, doesn't matter. I drained them. Now I'm putting them back into the same cherry jar with that vodka, and you're going to want these to soak. You can totally do it overnight. I'm going to do it now. Let it sit in the fridge while we go on to some other things here. But I am going to be making deviled eggs, 4th of July colored deviled eggs, and I wanted to try out this egg cooker. Now, truth be told, I'm not a huge gadget person. I like a gadget if it works. Yes, I know how to boil an egg. Am I good at it? No. And I don't know about you, but I never make them ahead, or at least when I do, I never make enough of them. So I feel like I'm always in a rush. That's how they never come out the right way. And when I go to peel the shell, I'm literally peeling half of the egg at the same time. So I thought this would be nice to be able to use and to have my older daughter use it too. I can teach her how to use this, and you're going to pierce the shell. So just if your kiddos are going to go ahead and use this, just of course make sure they're old enough and they know that that is a sharp needle there that you're going to pierce the egg with. Then you put your eggs in there with the pierced side up, put the lid on, and you put it on, and you fill that cup up with to do it soft boiled or hard boiled. So I was really interested to see if I like this. It is not a time saver. It definitely takes the same amount of time to boil, and then if you're going to immediately put it in the ice water, that all kind of takes the same amount of time. It just kind of takes that guesswork out of how long to keep it on the stove, and then just having to boil the water and all of that. So this is just a super convenient way to make your eggs. And that is the sound it makes when it is done. It caught me a little off guard. I thought we were getting a tornado warning on my phone, but then I remembered it is just the egg cooker. Now that the eggs are done, I'm going ahead with tongs because they are going to be hot. So also let your kiddo know that if they're going to be doing this, they're definitely hot. So either let them cool a little bit or take a pair of tongs and go ahead and put them right into that ice water. And I believe it said to let them sit in the ice water for at least 10 or 13 minutes or something like that. So we're going to let that happen, and we're going to move on to our next recipe here. So I was so excited. I'm making a taco dip, and I found this at the thrift store, and I thought, how perfect would it be for this dip? And I got that washed up, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to make it here. I'm using my KitchenAid, totally not necessary. I just love the smoothness that's involved with using the KitchenAid. So you're going to go ahead and put in 2 boxes of cream cheese, sour cream, chunky salsa of your choice. We had Tostitos on hand. I always buy this in bulk from the big box store. It's a summer staple here in our home. So I'm going ahead and using 2 cups of that, as well as some taco seasoning that it calls for, I believe it was an ounce packet of taco seasoning, but I don't buy those packets. I just kind of get this from the big box store as well. And 1 ounce was equivalent to 2 tablespoons. So I'm just going ahead and putting the 2 tablespoons in there, getting the shredded cheese in there. I believe it was 1 8-ounce block, but I'm going to link all the recipes for you below, guys. So don't worry about following along with me because this is how I cook when I'm doing multiple recipes at a time. I'm kind of intertwining everything, and I'll have all the recipes laid out for you below. Now that it is nice and silky smooth and all mixed together, I am getting it into that 9x13 pan, and what a find from the thrift store. I paid $5.99 for it, washed it up. I washed the basket up, and it looks brand new, and it's super cute being able to bring to somebody's house in that basket. I love it. And we are making an American flag dip, by the way. So while I get all the next ingredients set up for the top of the dip, I put it in the refrigerator to let it set up. I found myself a small star cookie cutter, and you'll see by how I make my stars whether or not you want to make your stars smaller. But I went ahead and I had plain white American slices from the deli in my fridge. So I'm just going ahead and cutting the stars out of that. I'm going to go and cut 6 of them. I don't wind up using all 6, and you'll see later on when we put everything together why. But you can make your stars as big as little as you like. Now here, if you want a true red, white, and blue flag, then you can go ahead and use white Monterey Jack cheese. I had Colby Jack and sharp cheddar on hand, so that is what I'm using, as well as these blue tortilla chips, which I recently bought. I don't usually have the blue ones on hand, and you want to give them a good crumble. And you want to get some nice grape tomatoes, and you're going to slice those babies up pretty small. You want them quartered. These grape tomatoes were on the larger size, so I even had to cut some a little bit more than just the quarters. But you want to get them kind of nicely diced up because those are going to be your rows for your flag, as well as your grated cheese. So you're going to start out with your blue corn tortilla chips. Now, I realized I wanted to make them a little bit smaller, so I did crush them a little bit more. And you're using this as the blue part of your flag. So just think of a square on the left top part of the dip here. And this is where I laugh because it makes me think of the show Nailed It. Let me know if you absolutely love that show. I laugh out loud, like I'm talking that like belly laugh when I watch that show. I just think it's hysterical. Totally every time I try to recreate something I see on Pinterest, I just think like at the end I'm gonna show it to everyone and you know, nailed it. And it looks like complete opposite of what it shows on the Pinterest picture, but we're staying positive today here. Hopefully I really do nail it. So kind of just did my best there with the square. And then we're going to go ahead and with the recommendation of the recipe, I'm doing a single line here of the tomatoes, kind of just getting it set so that I have a good idea of where I want my rows. And then after you put in your cheese layer, you're going to see that you can add kind of more tomatoes as you go. So we're just going to get the layers of tomatoes here, or I should say kind of the lines of tomatoes, and then we're going to get the shredded cheese in, and then we're going to add a little bit more to make this look like a beautiful American flag. Okay, so here's the part where I go back and I just fill in with the rest of my diced grape tomatoes, filling in any little gaps. And it doesn't need to be perfect. Of course it doesn't need to be perfect, but we're gonna go as far as we can because I want to nail it. I really do. Getting the cheese in, and you'll see in the recipe that I linked that they use the white Monterey Jack cheese, and it does look really nice with the red, white, and blue. So maybe next time I do this, I might go ahead and use the white, but all in all, I think it comes out super adorable. I mean, it's a dip, right? It's so cute. Putting these stars on. Now I wind up just using the 3, but if you want to use more, you can certainly make your stars a little bit smaller or your blue part a little bit bigger, but I think it was super fun to make. I'm excited. I tried the dip before I put it in the pan. It tasted delicious. Can't go wrong with sour cream and cream cheese and salsa. So we're gonna get that in the fridge, covered up and ready to bring to our party tomorrow. Now we are moving on to the deviled egg portion of this video. This is the first time I am dyeing my deviled eggs. Now I actually wanted to try this back around Easter time. I wanted to do like pastel colored deviled eggs, and honestly I was a little bit intimidated by it. I'm not sure why. Now that I've done it, it's so easy to do. Here are the eggs out of the ice bath, and here we go. Drum roll please. I love the egg cooker. I was kind of hoping it was going to come out off, the shell was going to come off in like one fell swoop, like I was going to crack it and the whole thing was just going to come off. Not the case, but definitely came off so much easier and cleaner. None of the white was ruined in the process of cooking these eggs, and they turned out fabulous. So that's definitely a keeper, and I'm going to be using that again. And just like you do any deviled egg recipe, you're going to take a sharp knife, cut it in half, put the yolks in a bowl for later for our insides. And we're just going to get these nice and halved and cleaned out. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to dye them. Now we're doing a red and blue today for, of course, the 4th of July. But you can do any colors for any holiday or season. And I should have kept out a few to leave them white, so I could have done the red, white, and blue, but I think I was overly excited and I ended up putting them all in the cups, but that's okay. If you want to leave out a few, then go right ahead. But after about 10 minutes or so, or after your egg whites get to the color that you like, you want to get them nice and dry between 2 paper towels. So that's what I'm doing here. And I kind of had them flipped over so that the water wouldn't sit in the little pocket there. So while those are drying, we're going to get our egg mixture going here. So I'm using my KitchenAid again, totally not necessary, but I do like a really smooth, creamy inside for my deviled eggs, and this gets me there quickly. So just adding in some mayonnaise. I didn't have yellow mustard on hand. We typically don't. We're a spicy brown mustard kind of family, but I do always have Dijon as well. So I added in the Dijon, little salt, little pepper. This recipe actually also calls for pickle juice. I have done it in the past, equally delicious. I didn't feel like opening a jar for a teaspoon of pickle juice, so I didn't, but they come out just as good. I have that now in a regular good old zippy bag here, just cutting off the tip just to make this a prettier process, and just kind of piping in the deviled egg mixture into each of these eggs. And love how these turned out, and the coloring of the eggs is really so easy. It's really no different than coloring eggs for Easter. You're just doing it without the shell on. So I'm definitely going to be doing this for all the different holidays. I'm actually kind of excited to do a red and green for Christmas. Although I would like to find a better red dye. I know that, the red 3 here in the States anyway has been recalled. There wasn't red 3 in this particular dye, but it was that red 40, which I'm kind of equally not a fan of. So I got to find myself a better red dye. But for now, we're going ahead and we're using what I have on hand. And I think they really turned out adorable. I would have maybe liked the blue to have gotten a little bit deeper. But hey, it's okay. They're going to taste just the same. And I think it gives that 4th of July vibe. I'm sprinkling on just a tad bit of paprika and just a little bit of dried chives. and super cute, fun. Had myself about 3 of them already. So yummy. Loved myself some deviled eggs. Now we have the maraschino cherries that have been sitting in my fridge all day, kind of marinating in that vanilla vodka, and you really want to get them drained well. So, and especially these that have the stems out, there was little crevices for the vodka and the just juices to kind of sit in. So just shake all that liquid out. You want them super dry. Again, pat them between a couple of towels. Now the recipe that I'm going to link for you below called for a white chocolate, which I actually was intending on doing. I actually have a bag of white chocolate chips right there, but I decided to go the icing route. No reason, just kind of felt the icing vibe, and I had an open package of one, so I figured why not. Dip them, then kind of dip them in these fun sprinkles, and they're super cute. They're super cute to put in a drink. Totally can taste the vodka. The longer you leave them in there, the longer they will or the stronger, I should say, they will taste. But I had them in there for a few hours, and you can definitely taste that vodka. Certainly can make some without for the kiddos, but just super fun to bring to a party. The last recipe for today is not even really a recipe. It's a cup filled with angel food cake, store-bought, cubed strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, whipped cream, sprinkles, and a spoon. And I just think these are super fun to bring to any event, party, play date. Your hostess doesn't need to put out anything, not even a spoon. They're ready to go. Super fun. Stick a little toothpick flag in there, and I think you would have the perfect dessert. Have a beautiful 4th of July, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Bye.
Could somebody come and take me away? I've been in the deep without you, and I got it in my head night and day. But we are one step